So you ever want to pass on information and create generational wealth or generational knowledge with real estate? And in this video, I went out to dinner with a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, where I sold her building, got her building sold. It was a wholesale deal, got her building sold. And what she wanted to do was show her kids kind of like what real estate can do for them. They have questions about real estate. They have questions about how real estate can help them and the different ways that they can get into it. So this video, I show where we're out and we had a Q&A session, a quick Q&A session with the kids asking questions, and these questions are answered, right? As usual, you'll see timestamps in the video. There's certain questions you can go right to them. And also that will be in the description. And also, again, our community, you want to join a team and be part of a group of people that's always talking about this stuff, what it takes and the challenges in dealing with, maybe getting to your first property, your second property, or your next property, right? The link to the community and all resources are in the description. All right, let's get into this video. Outside in the streets of Harlem, Tasha and her kids.
Hi! I don't know who I'm talking to, but hi!
I had learned about little. This your baby right here? This is beautiful.
Thank you. That's Thank you. Someone appreciates.
Look at the color.
Thank you. Thank you. Someone appreciates.
And look at this tint.
Thank you.
This is beautiful. This is perfect. We can talk right here.
Can you unlock these and put some of this down? You sure you don't want to take that back?
No.
No. The other.
You can get your.
This is really nice.
It's my first.
This is a beautiful car.
Matter of fact, you can get your kids.
All right, so what we doing? We in the streets of Harlem and we answer some real estate questions. We just had a nice dinner with these fine people here, and very fine. Super fun. Right. And the thing is, what we're doing is just inquiring about the real estate business in itself. They got the foundation. They got that part. So now they just got questions. They got the foundation. What's the foundation is find people with problems that you can solve. That's the main thing. Find people with problems you can solve. So now they got these questions. And the first one is, I wonder who asked this, right? What's the first step in making an offer? Who has that?
Elise.
What's the first step? So the first step in making an offer is just understanding the numbers. So your mom was talking about, hey, you guys got to know the numbers. So after the first foundational part, which is, understanding you got to solve somebody's problem, now you got to look at it really. The numbers is another part. The numbers itself is something that you practice a lot of. Like you look at a house with rental income, like you got tenants, how much the tenants pay, and how much capital. You got to flip. Remember I showed you the basic numbers? This is the value. This is what you bought it for. This is how much you pay for the repairs, and whatever's left is your property. So the first step in making an offer is to practice doing numbers on every single property. So we can do numbers on that one. We can do numbers on this property. That's a practice thing. It's just understanding what the numbers are. So that's really the answer to that question. To property, how quickly do you see profit?
Oh, that was amazing.
As soon as you get the first month that they pay rent, and you pay your expenses. So you can see profit on a rental property the first month. If you did your numbers right from the first time.
So how would I know what to make my numbers? Like, so if I'm doing, I have a rental property, how do I know what I'm going to charge in rent to see a profit?
So now you would know market. What's the market rent in the neighborhood? For a 1-bedroom in Harlem, let's say you got a building with like 3 1-bedrooms. So you got 3 1-bedrooms in one building, so you have to know what is the standard rent for a 1-bedroom in this area. That's it. once you know the standard, like, okay, what's the rent? Like, what you pay for your apartment? You rent? All right. What do you rent? How many bedrooms? 2 bedrooms. But what's your standard rent in that area?
$27.93.
See, so you got $27.93. So that's the income that your landlord makes. So now if you have 2 of those, how many apartments in your building? Multiplication and division. That's it.
So basically, it's debt, income, and profit.
Yes. Debt, income, profit. Debt, income, profit. Yes.
Yeah. So
right.
basically, you just get you get the income, you minus the debt, and then
That's the
whatever's
profit.
left, that's the profit.
Yeah. So real estate math is, what's that? Fourth? I'll say third, fourth grade. Really,
Yeah,
that's it.
Actually, now I think about it, that's just how I do my simple budgeting for like my paychecks and for savings.
That's it. Once you understand that part.
I just wanted to hop in here real quick. If you're enjoying this video and you want to learn more, where it's not just surface level information, you want to dive deep and you want to work with some investors, including myself, to help you with your specific scenario, your specific questions, I'm going to leave the link to our team, our community in the description, where you can tap in and get closer to the action, where our next coaching, we have coaching calls on a regular basis. Our next coaching call is either this Wednesday. All right. So tap into our community. The link is in the description, and you could work with some investors that's designed to help you get to your next step in your journey. All right. Let's get back to the video.
Repeat that question, please.
How long does closing typically take?
We're just going to do all my questions first time.
So listen, closing, standard closing takes 3 months, 90 days. It's usually, could be more depending on how many issues. So usually I tell a person, if you're gonna do real estate, start understanding that it's gonna take 3 months for you to see anything. So everything is around a 90-day clock anyway, right? So, or more.
Now, can the person pull out in that
Yes.
same amount of time?
Yeah, they can, but then you have contracts.
So that they'll be charged a fee or something
Could
like
be,
that.
depending on the contract. So everything is based on it. With you asking that question, a person can pull out, but everything in real estate is based on an agreement. Whatever I agree with you. So if I'm selling to you, whatever we agree on is the main thing. That's why you have the contract. So in the contract, all that stuff will be listed. If you pull out, then I keep your deposit. If you pull out, then this is the recourse. All right. Good? Keep going? You want to add to that?
No, thank you.
All right. Is it cheaper, more cost effective to purchase land and build or purchase a home? That's a relative question. Who asked that? You know who asked
It's
that?
both of their question, actually.
So when you talk about real estate, you talk about what's cheaper, what's more cost effective. That really is relative to you and what it is that you're trying to do. Just know there's just a difference between buying land and buying a home. So you can buy a cheap home on land, or you can buy cheap land
And build a cheap home.
and build a cheap. So that's kind of a relative question. You got it.
Yeah, mine kind of more so fall into like Richmond's property, right? Because I was gonna say technically, if I buy a piece of land and then I allow someone to build upon that land, do I still can gain an income from the property that they build upon those homes?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and that depends how you purchase the land and the numbers. So if you purchased it low enough and the cost to put a property on it is low enough compared to what the value is and what it's worth, now you can realize profit. So that's where doing the numbers, and she was stressing, your mom was stressing, like, yo, show them how to do the numbers, because that's where you can profit or loss, right? So understanding the numbers. The thing is that we didn't do numbers upstairs because, first of all, it was loud, and numbers in itself is its own training. It's like legit, like we can do numbers is so important, and she stresses numbers. She's very big on numbers. Numbers is so important. We do numbers every day. We practice numbers every day. Like I looked at a property today. we look at another property tomorrow and the day after. It's a constant thing. We're always practicing numbers to be able to identify. The thing is, you get faster at doing the numbers. That's what happens. So once you be like, oh, what's the rents? 27. How many apartments? Boom, 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 boom. It's a muscle that you gotta build. Yeah, work out. Yeah. Okay, good. So you understand build muscle.
So here's the other part to that. If you do not run your numbers, that's how you're going to know which one is more profitable. And that profit is going to be depending on your area, your state. So depending on the property, the location, going to be able to answer whether it's more profitable for you to purchase the land and rent the land off, or for you to purchase land and build.
Yep.
And the key other part to that is your cost. What is your purpose for the property? Is your purpose for longevity to hold, or is your purpose to fix and flip? If it's for fix and flip, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be cost effective for you to go land, build to fix, to sell it. But if you're trying to buy something to hold on to it, that's just something totally different. So you have to understand your purpose.
Can we turn the camera this way? Yeah, and then whichever, we can change. Are there contingencies I should include in the offer? Inspection, appraisal, financing. Yeah, so usually contingencies is good. So when we were doing her deal, I said no contingencies, right? The person that's buying had 0 contingencies. Look at everything before we go into contract. So contingencies is a way to protect you against something you may find later that you want to walk away from. So yeah, in your contract learning, you'll learn more about contingencies. So contingent on appraisal, contingent on inspection. If the inspection comes back and the foundation is messed up, I don't want it, right? And now you done spent some time from the seller that you're buying the house from, and now you don't want the property because you found in the inspection. So when we did it, we made sure that, look, you are buying a messed up building, period. So no contingencies. But yeah, contingencies are there. You'll know when to use them the more you learn about, put together contracts, the property that you're buying itself. All right?
So keep in mind also,
contingencies, because she likes this.
so keep in mind also, my property was a condemned property. So we sold it as is. No contingencies, it is as is. And we were even able to show them what was wrong with it because I had that from the state. So therefore they knew what they were buying.
Yeah, and people try to get contingencies. Like some dude came to me and was like, yo, I need a month inspection contingency. I said, no, so that you can tie the property up for a month. Then you get your inspection guy to come, and now you're going to try to renegotiate the price or tell me you don't want it. I said, nah, there's no inspection contingency. And a lot of people walked away because of that.
And that's okay. That's just not the seller that you're selling to.
Correct. Contingencies. Which investment do you recommend? Property ownership, renting, or Airbnb? And why? See, that depends on your investor ID, meaning who you are and what you want to do.
No, that question is geared for you.
Oh, for me? So I've done them all. I like Airbnb.
Well, perfect. So why? So how
because I'm not married to the tenant. They gonna come in. They never gonna act like it's their home. They're not gonna stay. And every time they stay, every time they renew, they're gonna pay more. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Okay,
that question is for me. I like that.
Airbnb is for me, so being that, I'm new to that world, we're not sure steps I should take.
So the first thing you gotta understand is what you learned today, and then you gotta find you gotta figure out whether you're buying or leasing an apartment in something.
Okay.
And then it's just about talking, the conversation you gotta have with the landlord.
With the landlord. Got it. Got it.
I got a script for that too.
Also,
Hit me up. I got a script for that.
Okay.
Talk
You
to
also,
them.
after the person leaves, you also hire like cleaners and stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the game.
Yeah, you keep it clean yourself.
Yeah, so within the same thing I showed y'all in my thing, you gotta train it on Airbnb own like a whole thing from start to finish. A whole training on short term. We call it short term rental. Airbnb is just a platform, just like Booking.com.
Right, yeah.
All right. So now you know like the technical term. Good question. Good question. So now you said there's between ownership and renting. So that kind of sometimes it's good to own the building and you can Airbnb it or you can lease. It's faster to get a lease, like rent from a landlord. It's just a longer process to buy a house because then you're just buying a house. That's just a longer process. But there's some pride to ownership and there's some advantages to ownership. Again, so ownership is ownership.
I'm gonna say it's yours. It's yours. But then I mean, if something breaks and comes out of pocket,
It's yours too.
yeah, exactly.
But keep in mind, the flip side to that is as that you're sitting and you're owning it, you're gaining property equity.
Right.
So you're building value.
That's true.
So that's why I'm always going to support ownership.
Ownership. A lot of people like ownership. So the main thing in real estate, in addition to ownership, is you can control for income. Because you can control you own all the income that you get. So maybe I don't own that building, but if I'm leasing 5 apartments for Airbnb, all that income I own.
But also keep in mind, you got a tax write-off with ownership. It's a dependent on your taxes.
Oh yeah, I know that.
That's true. And you get a tax write-off from your business from all your expenses.
Yeah, I know that.
But you winning today, boy. What's next? Anything? Does the reason someone is selling their home matter? Yes.
We talked about that.
They gotta have a problem. If you're gonna be an investor, you gotta find somebody with an issue. That's one way to get it cheaper. If you go market, so like if you go to Zillow right now, there's properties for sale, but their reason is the most money. Or here's the reason, right? You're gonna find a landlord to rent their apartment. You look for a landlord that can't rent that apartment. They've been trying to rent that apartment for 18 months or whatever. Oh, listen, you can rent this apartment. We do that all the time. Really? I got nothing.
I guess more
Do we gotta
like
move?
where I
You
was
want to
going-
change scenes?
Where I was going with that question is more of like, so say there was a mass murder in the house, right?
Right.
There was a mass murder in the house. Now, does that matter when I'm trying to sell it? Like, oh yeah, you know, this is a little haunted. Do I have to tell that?
Yes.
You may have to
do I
disclose
have
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
You
I
know,
would love
crime-
to know if somebody got murdered in the home I'm about to buy.
Right.
So
but
this
then
is where-
also you'll be
this
sitting
is
on
where-
that property even longer.
But this is where the insurance comes in. As a property owner, if something happens, you got the right insurance. That's how you're gonna cover yourself. Because if there's a crime inside of your home, you be out of rent for a while. So you gotta
Right.
have the proper insurance.
So then when I'm trying to sell, because now everybody in the world or in the neighborhood knows about the crime that was committed in my house, right?
Yeah, but it's
So when I'm trying to sell that property, because now I have a problem, I have a property that I cannot rent nor sell.
so now guess what? That's not true because now you'll find the buyer that doesn't care about that. There's people who buy chaos. There's buyers who buy chaos. They buy hazards.
Ooh, I love
So now if they don't know about the situation, right? So because they're coming from out of town, so they don't know about the mass murder that happened in my house.
Google it, they'll find it.
Come on now.
Well, check this out.
But do I tell them that? That's what I'm saying.
Listen, the reason I want y'all to believe in something right now. I'm gonna have you believe in something right now. Right? The biggest tragedy that happened in New York City downtown. Right? That building, I think that's the building right there,
That's
right?
the Freedom Building?
The Freedom Building. Right? 3,000 people lost their lives. And somebody came in and bought it. Everybody knows.
Well, that was an insurance.
But it's the same exact thing. Everybody knows what happened there. And they
somebody
came.
still bought it.
Somebody still bought it. They built it, and people are still back over there. I promise you. It won't stop you. You'll find a buyer for chaos. People buy chaos all the time.
And it's true. With everybody that watches reality
Yeah,
TV.
but to answer your question, I'm pretty sure you have to tell them that it's odd that you guys have to
it's not really, I don't, yeah, it could be a law in some, hold on.
In certain states.
How you get into Airbnb and what are some of the mistakes you made in the beginning? So getting into Airbnb first thing about getting into Airbnb is, I would say get your knowledge up on what Airbnb is, all the laws and things like that. Mistakes I made in the beginning, I didn't make no mistakes because I took a class. No, I took a No, I took training on what to do. I took a class first.
Oh, no, that's the class you just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I took a class from someone who did it as to how to do it. So
Okay.
the first step, how to talk to the landlord if you're renting, right? What do you do with Airbnb on the website, things like that. So that's a training within itself. And I think that's the best way to get into it. Like, let's train on that in particular. Alright, so the first thing I did tell you how to have a conversation with the landlord, then you do how to analyze from the website, like you got rents, and then you've got what an Airbnb person is paying. So let's say rent is $1,000 a month, but if somebody come in, right, for the month, they might pay $2,000. Then you're giving them everything. So one of the things in Airbnb is you got to pay the electric. They pay you one rate, but you got to pay the electric. You got to provide furniture, electricity, internet. You got to give them internet. You got to give them the Wi-Fi. You got to give them the Wi-Fi. You got to give them the Wi-Fi. Yes, they need the Wi-Fi. So that's the training in terms of what you got to do. So that's numbers. Your mom's favorite.
You also got to give them the Netflix. You got to entertain.
You got to give them the Netflix. You know what though? In my thing, what happens is a lot of people come with their own login. Or their own login.
No, but I'm also remembering how she said we did them trips. I remembering like a few times they had Netflix already.
Yeah.
They logged in.
Yeah, you logged in. Yeah. So you can do that.
They have their own account, yeah.
So I gave my people like a fire stick that I had jailbroken.
You sure you want that on video? You want that on video though?
They're not gonna do nothing. Yo, you know what it is? People in Harlem. Pull up. Over the back.
Well, when you put it behind the back turn, the one was quicker. Yeah, it was great on the
Oh, I thought you was going on the flow. Why don't you just put it in the car?
Got it? Yeah.
What advice would you give to the beginners?
To do what you want to today, like get somebody that's been doing it and have them tell you the foundation. What you learn today is where most people make mistakes. The same 3 things that you learn today are the things that you need to know about this business. That it's about people and it's about communicating with people. The whole industry is not about the building or the house, because there's always a person behind that door, because that's the fastest way to a house or to a property. Somebody got to sell it to you. The fastest way to get somebody to sell you the house is for the person that owns it to sell it to you. So your mom's building, people probably trying to find her on the net, right? Calling you, who's the owner. But once you know the owner, she's the fastest person to sell that property. So just understand, for a beginner, remember it's about people and communicating with people and being able to solve their problem. That's it for now.
You got one more question. That was question 1. You got one final one.
How many questions you got left on this? I recommend I raise the startup funds to be an Airbnb investor. Get a credit card.
Of how much?
20 grand. Get a credit card, and that way you can start furnishing.
Now, how am I gonna get that?
I said 20K, but it could be
I
five.
can show you that. Oh.
You get used furniture. Furnishing is the biggest thing. Or you got, you know what I'm saying? If your credit is good, you get a credit card. You can buy used furniture.
So keep in mind, the furniture is your experience. Airbnb is all about the experience. So keep in mind, when we're purchasing Airbnbs,
When we're going for houses, okay, the bed's too flimsy. We can't get this bed because of this person. This is too low for grandma. You have to think about all of that. Like trying to accommodate everyone's needs, and you don't know these people. So it's like,
So that you pick a person that you want to accommodate.
so right, the easiest person to accommodate is a senior, right? Raise the bed a little
If you
bit.
say that,
Everybody, no, I say that because everybody can do what a senior can. Like a senior can't get in a low bed, but if I make the bed higher, a young person or a senior can get in that bed. And I feel like I realized that from us looking for houses, honestly driving me crazy when it comes to looking for houses for these vacations. Oh, we can't do this bed because look at the legs on this bed. Oh, we can't do this bed because grandma can't get out of this bed. Oh, we can't do this one because this one got four bunk beds. How am I going to accommodate 3 kids plus one adult in that? Like, you know? So it's just like, if you can accommodate a senior, you can accommodate like anybody else who fall right into it. In a sense.
so keep in mind, when it comes to the Airbnb, my advice would be that it needs to have the experience. And your experience needs to go from a family setting, or from a girls' night setting, or for the guys just doing their thing setting. It needs to be able to accommodate all. And if it's a family setting, you have to have some level there where you have your games that plays to cater to your children. It needs to cater to a multifaceted.
yes, design is also a second. Yeah. You can hire design, or you can look on the website. So you can look on a website and see what other themes people have, and you can do your own theme. And now you're selling to that person.
Or you can also
You can do the bachelor pad theme. You can do the kids theme. You can do the senior theme. You can do any theme. Just the bed, but that's the
nobody wants to see me. Senior beds and senior couches.
they have senior home, like that's a whole business.
Absolutely not for Airbnb. I'm just thinking of beds wise.
You can do all that.
Right. I got some ideas here.
Y'all good?
Right now, we definitely get this. Look nice. Nice. Yeah.
Get the group chat. What's that? Yo, even if you forgot everything, don't forget the first part that I told you.
Communication
People.
and finding people with problems.
That's it. And then part 2, when she does it again, when you get to the numbers, you're gonna love it. Oh man, Tasha gonna do the numbers.
I think we
Numbers
should
are
find
fun.
a quieter restaurant. I don't know, a library.
I
Right.
know that
Maybe
spot.
a library.
Hold on, I like that spot.
It was cool enough for this though.
I actually did like that spot. Bennett, the food.
I enjoyed it. I like that spot.
Cool enough for this though.
Because all you really needed was the first 3 things. And I told
That was definitely a good time teaching or showcasing what I know, passing the knowledge down to the youth. All right. And the main takeaway that I wanted them and you watching this to always remember, if nothing else, always remember in this game, in this real estate game, you're always looking for a person with a problem. You start with a person with a problem that you can solve. And usually the problem is, whatever the problem is, let me correct that, right? So whatever the problem is, to solve it would be getting rid of the house or getting away from the real estate that they own. That would help them solve their problem. All right. So just remember that as you continue with your journey and you're doing your thing. Now, in this one of these videos here, in the next training, you can find out how you can find more people with problems. Like sometimes you could actually start with your phone, right? Just if you struggle with finding property, and hey, how do you start just looking for these people that have problems and doing your, the next deal? You can always start with your phone, and the training that's up here, you can start right there. All right, go out there, be great. I'll see you on the next training.